Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel dedicated to 1 to 144 aircraft model kit building. Today, I chose to make the Ilyushin IL-76TD from Zvezda at 1 to 144 scale. I am presenting you a full build slideshow of the kit building. The kit, released in 2018, is numbered 7029 and only proposes decals for the Ministry of Emergency Situation of the Russian Federation. The plane is proposed with the registration Romeo Alpha 76841. The kit is based on the Ilyushin IL-76MD kit released a year earlier. As per RussianPlanes.net, the plane was fabricated in Topoich factory in Tashkent, now Uzbekistan, in 1994. It was delivered to Kras Air, a Russian airline, in January 1995. In 1997, the plane was transferred to a Russian cargo airline, Atlant-Soyuz, where it served for a bit more than a year. In January 1999, it was acquired by the Russian Ministry of Emergency Situations or Emercom. The plane is still in service for Emercom today. The kit comes bagged with 10 screws, promising a lot in terms of details and fun. And indeed, it is highly detailed, with even vent grids and a nice APU exhaust. Look at the level of details when zooming on the flaps only. It is amazing. I decided to make the variant with open cargo door and full interior visible. I started to airbrush the different pieces. For the light ochre color, I made a mix of matte ochre and flat white, aqua color 88 and 05 respectively. The cargo deck was airbrushed in aluminum, aqua color 99. Prep work is ongoing to fully airbrush the different pieces of the interior. I am using Revell's Aqua Color 61 for the glossy emerald green used for all technical boards of the cockpit. To make the seats aging, I darken the original green with flat black and then stroke paint. When dried, I painted the room between seats in light gray, using a 00 brush and a magnifying lamp. I started to make the dry brushing of the interior using a metal color, aqua color 99, then wiping the brush on an absorbent paper before highlighting the edges. Here is the finished cockpit. Time now to do the weathering of the cargo deck and cabin with a wash of my own. I am using a flat brush and my fingers for the rendering. The same technique is used for the weathering of the interior. Here is the finished interior work with the cargo bay fully mantled. Some details of the interior glue on a half of the fuselage. The two halves of the fuselage can now be glued together. I also airbrushed the top of the cockpit roof to suppress transparency for a better rendering when I will paint the fuselage. Of course, I masked the windows which should stay transparent. For such a beautiful kit, it is a pity that navigation lights are just painted. Hence, I cut them before mantling the wings. To make the navigation lights, I first heat a piece of transparent plastic to roughly shape it. I then cut it and properly sand it with a nail sander, using the smaller sanding plug, until the back shape perfectly fits the cut part in the wings. I then glue with super glue the fabricated part, roughly cut the excess plastic, and sand it till I get the proper final shape. I then mask them properly to be able to start the paint work on the wings. After proper masking, I could have airbrushed the red ending of the wings and horizontal stabilizer, as well as the leading edge of the ladder. Time to work on the fuselage paint. I used double face tape to glue the part corresponding to the closed cargo door to protect all the interior work. After proper masking, paint work on the fuselage can start. Then, masking of the white top is done to airbrush the bottom in light gray, aqua color 371. Detail painting on stabilizers are finished. Here is the result. It is time to work on the engines. After airbrushing the fans, the thrust reversers and the exhausts, I darken the exhaust with a wash made out of diluted matte black. I then cut the nacelles, gently remove the excess plastic by sanding. I glued the finished intake fan before gluing the two halves of the nacelles together. After air intakes were airbrushed in silver, I could have glued them to the nacelles. Time to start decals placement. Note that I also mantled the landing gears. After decals are placed, I airbrushed a semi-matte varnish on all surfaces, Tamiya X F35. Before final assembly, I used my homemade wash for weathering and panels highlighting. The finished model is presented hereafter. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please don't forget to like or subscribe. Please leave a comment to make this video more visible on YouTube.